I mean, you're pushing a lot of stuff, right? So what's the mindset on that? What's the mindset with like pushing all these new features that we have? Do you have any I don't know, do you have any game plan? Are you trying to like have features for everybody, or what are you thinking?
As you know, we never had any game plan to begin with. That's like whoever has like some kind of request or like the one thing that I always want to like do is not disappoint our ideal customers. Because if somebody signs up and they're doing something weird, that they have like a physical product business on Wayfront or something like that, and they want features, like it's fine. But whenever somebody who's a perfect fit for us, digital marketing agency, productized, maybe like a recognizable brand, that's when we want to do what we can to build whatever they want, or address the workflow so that we can support it, I guess. Yeah. So it's a lot of like, who's yelling the loudest gets the updates. I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
I don't think it's that way. Considering I'm the one who's the front line, usually I'm gonna disagree on that, because I only fight for things that are asked for a lot, usually. Like, if only one person is asking for a feature, I'm not really like pushing that. I mean, I'll let you know, right? Because this is like my job. But I will only fight for when it's a feature that like 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people have asked for, right? Usually it doesn't get to 10, because if it's like 5 people asking for something, I'm already like arguing with you guys, like, we need to build this now, kind of thing, you know?
You know what else factors into that decision is how happy are you with that particular customer? Because if they're like being like super aggressive or like being difficult with you, then you're not gonna fight for them.
That is valid. Man, people, it really surprises me how people don't get that you need to talk in a not in a like in any specific, just you can't be rude to the people who can help you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like, it's like the same thing as going to a restaurant and then yelling at the guy who's serving you the food. They're gonna spit in your food, man. Like, you can't do that, you know?
Well, you're right. I think a lot of it is like, we're a European company. We have like these different kind of values, we're not like I'm okay saying no to money if it means it's difficult. It makes my life difficult,
Yeah. I think the problem is that people forget, or when people are upset, they forget that they're talking to people. Like they think that, they have this like higher ground and they get to like be angry and be rude about it. It's like, no, man, I get that you're upset, but if anything, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to make you less upset. I want you to be happy. I want you to succeed. So being rude to the person that you're talking to is not really an advised workflow.
Yeah, well, as you know, client work is difficult. At least like in our case, it is very productized, so to speak.
I think it's cool though.
On the spectrum of software as a service to service, we're a lot of service as well. It's not like, this is this like huge ass anonymous SaaS company where like you email and a bot replies a week later, or there's like some kind of obviously templated answer with no solution. That's not us. Like, we put the service in software as a service,
For sure. I think it's cool, man. Like, I mean, most of the time when you send emails, like, most of the time I'm going to be the one replying to you. Sometimes it's Chris. Most of the time it's me. If you notice, if anyone listening to this and you notice the way that I reply to tickets, you will realize that none of them are templated. I don't even have any like opener or sign off that is like templated. I just write everything every time depending on the mood that I'm in. So, it's you're getting a personalized response from someone who's genuinely trying to help you every single time. And that is and to me, at least personally, I actually do enjoy helping people. So I really like it when like I solve someone's problem, when I fix an issue, or like I communicated it in the right way to you guys. So yeah, man, like just remember that the person that you're talking to wants you to succeed. Again, this is I want you to be happy.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'm looking at sometimes, we've hired agencies for different kind of things, and yeah, sometimes they want to argue with you or like try to prove you wrong or something. Like, we don't care to be right. We want what's best in the long run, I guess.
Speaking of what's best in the long run, how's Buddy been this week?
When we were catching up last time, Buddy was running on OpenClaw. So that somehow it was difficult. I don't know. There was we had these like steps for managing memory, and we had installed QMD, which is this memory management layer, and it was running some kind of memory compression every night. Still didn't work. Still didn't remember anything that we care about. Still made the same mistakes. So it was an uphill battle until we switched it to Hermes, the OpenClaw competitor, and it's been way better. Did we talk about Anthropic cutting off Claude, or was that before?
No, the last conversation that we had was about you doing this hack which allows you to use your subscription instead of using the API, and then that same day the weekend right after that we recorded that, they were like, nah, not anymore, forget about it.
Oh yeah, bruh. Yeah, so initially we switched Claude to ChatGPT, and we're like, why is it so bad? It's cannot even click through in the browser. It's saying, I cannot click this button. I'm like, just click the button. It's like, no, I cannot. Nothing's happening. And so turns out the issue was reasoning was off by default for some kind of reason, which I don't get. Soon as I turn it on, it magically works. It's able to click buttons in the browser now. It's able to navigate. But still, we had all these memory problems, and then we switched to Hermes, and it's been way better. And then sort of in the theme of why we have a Slack integration now is because I wanted the agent to pre-triage our issues, sort of when a ticket comes in, do a little bit of research, check what the problem could be, or what we could suggest as a workaround. So to do that, I wanted the agent to receive new tickets. And so what can we do? Set up a webhook? That doesn't work because it's running on my local Mac Mini. So we built a Slack integration, and now Buddy's in the Slack channel. Tickets come into the Slack channel. Buddy's responding to the tickets. Now we wanted that research in the app, so there was no way for Buddy to get post messages back into the portal. So we added that to the MCP, and now Buddy can also post notes in the portal. And all of this is available to customers as well, because this was a problem we wanted to solve. So now you can just connect Slack, put your whatever AI is into it. It's easier said than done, because it's, I don't know, if at some point maybe you want to do a YouTube tutorial on how to set it up.
I mean, I think so far the most accessible thing is using the MCP, and I've seen some people celebrating it, man. I've gotten some emails of people being so happy about the MCP and the functionality that it offers. So I think it's a great start, and it's very entry level, right? MCP is just go into your AI, click on connect, put your link, and you're connected. You're good to go. It's super easy. So this is very entry level. At some point when it becomes a little bit easier, because things are getting easier every day, I feel like. So at some point when I feel and the benchmark is me, right? Because again, I'm tech savvy. As I've said before in previous episodes, I'm tech savvy. I'm not technical though. So when I feel for me it makes sense to set it up, then I will record a video, because that means that other people will be able to find it accessible as well. And this is something that definitely would be very helpful. But on the Buddy front, I still feel he's kind of hit or miss with the tickets. I know that we have some kind of learning that's happening over time, but I don't know how to give it feedback, right? Because sometimes he's leaving these notes that are incredibly dumb, and sometimes it's very helpful. Sometimes it's very useful. For example, today I noticed that there was a ticket that I had where somebody sent a video. Buddy was able to actually access that video and got me information out of the video before I actually watched the Loom, which is super cool, right? Completely incorrect context. He misunderstood the issue completely, because I don't think he has access to the actual video. But he did get me the link of the order that was in the video, which I found very cool.
Oh, interesting. Now, Loom videos are the bane of my existence. I have to put in headphones, like do all this stuff. Not a big fan of that. So now if Buddy could watch Loom videos, damn, that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I found it very useful, yeah.
So speaking of the notes, it's so once it's set up, it's kind of easy to manage as well, because when it posts a note, it links back to the Slack thread. So you click that, you're in the thread, and you can literally say like, this research was wrong. You're done.
Oh, okay. So I can give it feedback on Slack.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of easy to run once it's set up, but the initial setup is kind of maybe tedious. Remember when all the Zapier make agencies, and then N8N was a huge thing for a while. Like people were setting up these elaborate automations, and now I've heard of people doing the same thing for like, we'll set up a Claude for you. You just pay a setup fee. There's a guy on Twitter sets up the Claude and charges like a retainer, like $1,500 a month to like maintain it.
What? Yeah. What is he maintaining? You've had Claude for a month already, more than a month now. Are you doing any maintenance that is like $1,500 a month worth of maintenance?
No.
The entire challenge is the first time setup. What's the retainer for?
Because the thing is, once it's running, you can sort of like, it can fix itself until it can't, right? Because once it breaks, then you no longer have the connection. You're like posting in Slack, hey, buddy, are you alive? And there's like no response because the process is dead because something updated, So then you have to like plug in your monitor and go to the Mac Mini and like manually figure it out.
That's crazy.
But I do have a workaround for that as well. Because like if you manually figure it out, it's difficult because you don't know what you're doing. At least I don't. You install Claude standalone or whatever, or a Codex, and you ask it to fix the Claude, and then
it can then look at like all of the setup that you have and see where the problem is, and then fix it for you.
Yeah. So you can see, oh, you just tried updating. The update broke everything. Let me fix the source code.
Now that's some cool stuff. I do want to say that I noticed that from day-to-day conversations again, or like interactions with Buddy, I noticed that I like OpenClaw way more interaction-wise than Buddy, than Hermes. Because looking at Hermes in the way that this homie talks, it's very frustrating. It's very spammy compared to OpenClaw.
Well, yeah. You're right. It is like a lot. It's sending a lot of messages. It's like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm clicking this. It doesn't mean anything, but I like it just for the fact that I can see that it's trying. Because like if there's no feedback, it puts the eyes emoji. It acknowledges your message like a human would, and there's nothing happening. Buddy, did you die? What happened? Or,
No, it is definitely smarter than OpenClaw, though. I definitely have noticed that it is smarter now than OpenClaw was. Definitely when we were doing OpenAI, it was not great because there was like this transition where we tried doing GPT. It was not great, but when we switched over to Hermes, it's been very good. Like it's really powerful.
Just to clarify, Hermes is also using OpenAI, so there's like, it's just the wrapper for it.
Okay. So why is it smarter than just using OpenAI straight up?
Because it has the memory management. Because it like anytime you have a conversation, it updates the internal memory. So then, like for us, 99% of the jobs it does are reoccurring. It's like the same jobs every day. Like check the firewall for false positives. Check QA this stuff. And every time it works on it, it gets better. Whereas if there's no memory, if you just do it in Claude Code Terminal, you have to direct it, and then maybe you make like a skill, or maybe you update your agents file, but it's more manual.
Okay. So basically, Hermes is more the memory management, so it knows how to do things in a more efficient way.
Hermes is like OpenClaw, but a different tool, basically.
Okay.
But both of these require some kind of AI to run. So yeah.
Okay.
Until we're using so much of it, I wonder at what point will OpenAI shut us off? You know?
I think at the same point that it's going to shut off everyone else. It's the same thing that happened with OpenClaw and them banning the subscription usage. Everyone's going to get wrecked at once. And then, yeah, you're going to have to move on. I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a super amount of controversy on Reddit with Claude and their business practices recently. A lot of people are very unhappy.
You know, probably it's the vocal minority. Like, what percentage of their billions of users are OpenClaw users? Probably
it's not even just the OpenClaw guys, it's just the regular users. A lot of people are saying that basically their pro subscription has started to feel like the free tier like 2 months ago.
Yeah. And then it got like Opus 4.6 got like 60% dumber since release. So now you're like paying for the same thing, but it's worse.
And you're getting less usage, and it's dumber, so you have to talk to it more. And it's getting a lot more difficult to get things that you need out of it. And apparently, a lot of people are saying there's a lot of controversies with the effort. Apparently, they're saying that Claude or Anthropic has put down the effort on Opus by default, so you have to ask it to be smarter to get the full effort.
Interesting. And now the latest is I think they're asking you for government ID to subscribe.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, I saw a screenshot of that. Maybe it was fake news.
I did not.
Let's verify that real quick before we disseminate fake information.
Yeah, because I imagine that is not like we would have been asked if this was a requirement. I think we would have been asked.
Oh no! 2 hours ago, identity verification on Claude.
No shot.
You have to. Yes.
Do you think we're gonna get hit with it on renewal?
I think it might be for new subs, but I don't know. Probably they're trying to prevent North Koreans from using it, and maybe people creating like 10 different accounts or something like that.
Fair, yeah. I guess if you're creating 10 different accounts to circumvent the limits, then yeah. But that feels like more work than just paying $10 a month.
It's 200 per month. What are you talking about?
No, it's 200 per month for the max plan, the max plan, which is not the things that you're doing on the free tier. Anyways, if you're making 10 different... Oh, you're talking about people who are making 10 different accounts on the highest plan so that they can circumvent the overall limits.
Yeah. Because people on the free tier, they, how much are you gonna use really?
Okay. Yeah, no, I misunderstood that. I thought you were saying that people are making too many accounts to if they run out of usage on the free plan, then they're going to the next account. But no, that would be a waste of time for everybody. Damn. Yeah, fair enough.
So I mean, a lot of these people make with this heavy usage are like SaaS people. I feel are not even marketers, because now you can do some marketing. There are marketing skills you can download for these AIs, but then I don't know, agencies are catching on to it as well, trying to automate all this stuff, canceling all their seats with us.
Yeah, a lot of people have managed to automate a bunch of the things that their people were doing. So now they have less people to deal with, and it's getting it's an interesting shift though. Like there are some things that yes, it makes sense to move to AI to manage. We've done a lot of things we've moved a bunch of things to AI to handle as well. But some things just don't work. So where do you draw that line? How do you know what things you can do? Because you've seen some companies that have burned to the ground because they went full AI too early, like Duolingo, for example. I don't know if you've heard of it, but basically they burned to the ground because they took out all of their audio, their voice actors, all of their recording people, all of their support. They fired all of them, and they put AI into everything. And now my wife is using Duolingo to learn French, and every time she I hear anything from her phone, it's the funniest thing ever because it sounds horrible. And their market share also dropped, and their stock went down 90%. They burned to the ground because of this stunt. So how do you know when to do this and when it's not a smart idea?
There are probably two things happening at the same time, because on the one hand, you have a bunch of people starting new agencies. You have a bunch of established agencies suffering from success, cashing in on the AI LLM optimization services or whatever other kind of trending topics, right? And then you have other agencies that did the old school like SEO audits. Nobody is paying for that anymore. And so they are also maybe like forced to reduce headcount, and they can still get by because they don't need as much headcount anyway. And then the other agencies who are like suffering from success, they don't have to increase the headcount as much as they did before. So I'm thinking every agency owner I talk to, they eventually want to do a SaaS, because it's like free money, you know. You build it once, and you know. But
bro,
if you have like actual AIs delivering the services, that's almost like a SaaS. What is the human component left in there if everything's automated?
I don't know. I keep seeing like conflicting things when it comes to stuff like this, because for example, I watched this like 20-minute video yesterday by mistake, mind you. I was scrolling on TikTok and I got into a video, and apparently it was a 20-minute video, and it was talking about how like the output from like the way that you're using AI is super important into whether it will be helpful for you or not. Because if you're using it like a consultant, then it's not gonna work, because it depends on the data that is already available. So if you're asking it a question that is not available on the internet, then it cannot answer you. So it's only gonna give you this confident response that we've talked about before, where it gives you this confident response that's just incorrect. And then you are gonna go and use this information as if it's fact, because you think that it's been given to you based on research, right? So this is where it's gonna be. This is where the split is gonna be. You're gonna have to be able to determine in what scenarios are you able to use AI, and in what scenarios it's gonna damage you. And the outcome of that video was that this is the difference between someone who's gonna be successful using AI and someone who's not. When they're running an agency, when they're running a company, it's all about, you need to be able to determine when it makes sense and when it doesn't.
It sounds like a lot of as well like a consumer use, where like I'm a guy, I'm trying to like fix this problem with my engine, I don't know anything, so I like ask it. That's like, you know, Google should be used for that probably. But then for like our customers, the business use case is you already know what you have to do, and you already have the process, because it's like a productized agency. You have SOPs, you have like steps for, or at least like you should have to be profitable. So you already like have everything mapped out. It's just who's gonna be the clicking the buttons. And this is like so perfect for any kind of automation, I feel. It's like, how can you figure out what to actually automate? And now I think, imagine like back in the day, you could write some scripts, so you could only automate things that have APIs and webhooks. But now you can automate things that are literally in the browser. You just ask it, I don't have X API, so I ask it, just log into X, set up the ads through the browser, and it can do that. So it's very easy. There's no, there's no limitations. You can do whatever you want.
I remember I saw somebody a while ago that did like an AI automation. I can't remember who off the top of my mind, but basically they have this agency where they sell these eSIMs, and they just have AI handle the whole thing from A to Z. Someone comes in, places the order for the eSIM. The AI goes into the wherever it needs to generate an eSIM. It does it automatically. It sends it back to the customer, marks the order as complete. The whole thing is automated within AI. All the guy did is, and they're doing, or what the person was doing is they're doing marketing, and they're running it like they started it and they're doing marketing. AI does all the work.
Yeah. So imagine like traditional agencies, you have like some kind of management layer, account managers, and then a whole bunch of just low-level people doing the work. And then account manager is like talking to the client because they're like the client-facing person. So it's all like very delivery heavy. Like most of the company is like focused on delivery. And now it's maybe going the other way, where most of the people in the company are thinking about marketing, growth, sales, and the delivery is, it's a smaller part of it. Whether it's like true in agencies and true in SaaS as well, because you don't need like 20 developers anymore.
I mean, to be fair, if you have like a very standardized process, then either way, the most important thing that you've been dealing with has been marketing and getting more people to find your products. You have a standardized product and standardized process. So now if you can give that standardized process to your AI agent and it can handle it, then that's pretty cool. You can focus on marketing then. You don't have to have, as you said, 20 people who are lower level dealing with those processes anymore.
Yeah. I think, so in my mind, the big difference between software people and agency people is that software people do not want to hire anyone. They're like bad at it. Whereas like if you're running an agency, you're like naturally pretty good at hiring because there's going to be churn. Like 2 years ago, you'd have a team in the Philippines or whatever. There's going to be churn. And maybe you have like an ops manager who's doing the hiring. But like 2 years ago, hiring was such a big part of all this because you need those people to do the delivery work. And you just need like a constant stream of candidates to keep up with things. And now, yeah, I don't know. Probably like recruiting has been affected by AI as well. You can weed out resumes much quicker. I don't know.
For sure. It's all done like by AI now. I think even LinkedIn has their own AI. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I think they have their own AI to like filter out the resumes that have nothing to do with because, you know, people just apply to everything because they want to get a job. So, yeah, it has become now, it is very interesting. Because, yeah, you like, as you said, 2 years ago, people are hiring nonstop. They need people to do the work. Now it's more like you have a bunch of, like a handful of people who are like upper level, who are managing what the AI is doing and doing things that the AI cannot do. More than you need a bunch of people to do all these deliverables and like deliver the work and stuff.
Yeah, that's certainly the perception. I wonder, like in reality, we should look at the actual MCP usage we have. Like what percentage of our customers actually use it heavily day to day? Probably not 50%. You know?
No, adoption for this kind of stuff is very slow, especially if you're having so look, it really depends on the state or where the agency or the company is, right? So if you're struggling, if you're having a rough time, if you're not sure what's going wrong and what you can improve, you're exploring every corner. But if you're doing well and things are working, you have no motivation to explore these things, right? So if you're happy with your revenue, if you're happy with your flow, if you're happy with all that stuff, why would you go and look at this MCP? You don't want to deal with it.
I don't know. Like at this point, even if it's going great, you kind of have that feeling in the back of your mind where for how much longer, like what is gonna be different next year? So I think like smart play is to look into all this stuff as soon as possible, essentially.
I feel like we're doing really well on that, where we're jumping on it and we're utilizing it and we're trying to implement it more than other agencies. Not everyone is doing the same thing, but yeah, it really depends on how the thought process is of the person who is running the thing, right? So either you are forward thinking or you're like reserved. Like, are you doing well or you're not doing well? There are a lot of factors that indicate whether or not you will adopt AI more and more. It really depends on who you are and what your state is. I feel like these are the two most important things, or what the state of your agency is.
Yeah, but like at this point, you just cannot argue. It's gonna be there. You're gonna have to adopt it at one point or another. Like what is maybe like a little bit unfortunate is that you figure out this like Claude thing, and this knowledge like 3 months later is worthless. Because everything's changed. There's a different platform now, different kind of problems to solve.
I would argue against that because, okay, so let's say you figure out the open Claude thing now, right? You've benefited for 3 months. You've saved a ton of money by figuring it out and making it work for 3 months, and then you got to figure out something new. And maybe that's not a bad thing.
That doesn't feel good though. Like it's like this never-ending cycle where you always kind of have to be thinking ahead and always have to be like, what is the next thing? I've heard people who do like ad heavy businesses. It's always like that. Like, what is the next creative going to be? Like, the one is we have killing it right now. When is it going to play out? What do we need to think ahead? Yeah.
I mean, hey man, you're not selling a specific like physical product like hacky sacks, and all you're doing is advertising. Like, you have work to do, you know, like this is the kind of industry that you're in. You need to be thinking ahead. You need to be putting in an effort. You need to be open to change, especially in the world that we're living in right now of AI and things changing every day. Like, you have to be open to these things. Otherwise, you're just going to get buried, and the agencies and companies that are open to this stuff are going to thrive. because they're going to take it, they're going to utilize it the best that they can, and they're going to do better than the ones who are going to get buried. And it's the same thing with the job market, because you were saying something about like not having the low levels. If you are going to stand out now, like if you're looking for a job today, your thing is going to be better than everyone else, and to be better than everyone else, how do you use AI to improve your output? This is right now what it is. This is the golden standard, I think.
Well, anybody can make any kind of claims. Like I get so much outreach on email or on LinkedIn. It's like, would you like 50 extra leads a month or 100 leads a month? Or do you have capacity to 100? Do you have capacity to handle 500 leads? Like, sounds great. I don't trust you. So whatever like claims you make as a service provider or as an applicant or whatever consultant, I'm gonna need to see like some proof, you know.
And that makes sense. But you're not gonna. But like, yeah, you are right. I agree with what you said. But you're not going to. If you're hiring someone, you're not gonna consider them if they don't have this information at all. You might ask for proof, yes. But if they just tell you, "Oh, I'm anti-AI," you're never gonna consider them now.
Well, yeah, that's true. I think like not the case for us, but I have heard from friends where in their companies they have like people with more tenure. They've been doing the job for many years, so they're kind of reluctant to change. And that's such a difficult position to be in right now.
Even without the more tenure, man, I was reluctant to change. And this is just because like you know your flow, you know what you're doing, you know how you're doing the work, and it becomes difficult to change things. You know, like this is just how human nature is. You're used to something, you're doing it, you think it works, so why would you change anything? Like you're introducing risk. But in this case,
because if you have like ADHD, you might be changing things all the time for no reason. I don't know.
I mean, I am, but not with work stuff. I feel like I'm very standardized when it comes to work. I'm like, I have this, like everything that I have is done in a specific way, and I don't like to mess with it. Like I don't mess with work stuff usually. But I feel like this has been entirely different in 2026. Like in 2026, it's been insane how things have changed in these past 4 months. And it's only been 4 months. We still have 8 months to go.
Imagine like the old school agency, like my wife was working in 1 years ago, and they had like 4 account managers, like 3 designers, like 5 developers. I don't know, like the numbers were so huge for the number of clients they were serving, and it was also all hinging on a couple big name clients that were paying a lot of money. Whereas now it's like you're selling a service. There's an order form. You go there, you buy it. If they like it, they keep paying you. If they don't like it, they churn. If they churn, no big deal. You know, it's a small percentage of your overall client base. So all of this makes like agencies better products themselves now as well. Because if you think, oh, I'm gonna sell this agency later, then the value is like a couple things that the acquirers look for: clean books, growth, all this stuff, and then like key client risk. If you have that, it's bad. You know, if it takes like a couple clients to churn and you're in the dumps, then that's a huge risk. It's gonna be priced in. So all this stuff can be like more solved for today.
For sure, yeah.
So this,
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, to bring it together, like this is why our customers are so perfectly positioned for what's happening right now.
Oh yeah, dude. Either way, they're in a position to be successful. Either way, they can do, like, either you have people who are adopting things and doing better than they ever used to, which is giving their clients better value, it's giving themselves better workflow, and you have these new people coming out with these new solutions, and they have, dude, like the field for starting a new business now has never been more flat. Like somebody right now who is like 25 years old can start like an agency with a bunch of AI and have a lot more experience than they did like 2 years ago, right? Like it gives people this opportunity that didn't exist before. I think it's very cool.
It's true, but still, like if you've been in the game, there's like more, like reputation is everything, and we've been at this for a long time, but now we're kind of back to square one. because we're looking at like how one of the AIs, do they recognize Wayfront, etc. And it's like, oh, my knowledge cutoff is like 2025, and we rebranded this year, so no, it doesn't know about us. So that's so bad. You know what? We've always been focused on people who are already running successful agencies where they're having so many clients that they need a system for it. So the reason why we haven't been going after people just starting out is because we were always worried about support costs. Like they're gonna ask a bunch of questions, they're gonna churn quickly, and it's all gonna be like the onboarding time is gonna be wasted. But now this has changed where it no longer costs that much to support new users to like get them onboarded. If we can improve our little built-in agent and have it have all the functionality of the app through MCP, maybe like we just need some kind of Claude skill for onboarding, you know.
It would be possible, yeah. Even without fully automating that, like even if you still want to do like fully human responses, it is still a lot easier to support them with like if we improve the guy, our homie buddy, with just understanding things a little bit better and leaving better notes. Like considering that it takes so much less time to answer things now, it wouldn't be difficult to support these entry users at all.
I do remember I made an Claude skill for template editing. Looking at GitHub, I'm trying to find it. Where did I put it? Because I remember putting it in Claw Hub as well, so that other claws can grab it. Oh yeah, okay. It's called Wayfront-skills, and it is a skill. And what does it help with? Oh, it helps with MCP. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can't that be packaged into the MCP so that it automatically knows how to edit templates?
Yeah, some of it is packaged now. I think we improved it. I don't know. I thought like we had some issues with MCP where it was not quite getting how to filter things. So I made this like companion skill to explain the filtering. Maybe that was a bad move and we should have just done it in a way where it doesn't need explaining. I don't know.
Wait, I thought you guys like changed things, or was it just like, did you just like write a skill for it to understand?
No, we did change things. So the skill, but we still have the skill. So maybe we could expand the skill actually and make it cover like other aspects of the app. Because now imagine you could set up services and forms through MCP. You say, okay, I want to sell like these link building packages. Set me up a form. Give me like two options, monthly or annual plans. Give me a discount on the annual plans. And I need like this and this information to get started. Just set it up. That'd be great.
Yeah,
if it
that'll be awesome. Yeah, if it worked. Listen, there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to setting up a workspace. Sorry, I just kind of lagged there. There's a lot of moving parts, and it's very difficult to get things right because everyone wants things differently. And like this is also one of the reasons why it was very difficult for us to do full onboarding for people, and we could never do it. We just can't do it until now. Well, I'll hop on an onboarding call. I'll answer all your questions. I'll help you set things up, but we can't set up workspaces for people because everyone has different expectations. Good luck fitting all of that into your skill so that the AI can just be like, yeah, I can handle any of these. Like it's difficult, man. If it's a basic thing, then yeah, like I'll set up a service where I'm selling, I don't know, 4 monthly edits, 4 monthly episodes. Then yeah, that would be easy to explain to and like clear it up in a skill. But yeah, it is not as simple as things people would think it is. That's what I'm trying to say.
Like maybe our focus has to be on documenting what is possible and the recommended flows that, like, in our experience through thousands of agencies, this is how you want to like run this service. And so if that is written down somewhere and somebody's chatting with their agent and being like, okay, so I want to sell this and this, then I could say the recommended way is this. You can do it this other way, up to you. But at least like it's giving like our experience is packaged into it somehow. So it's giving like credible advice instead of just like, you know, whatever you want, I'll set it up. You know.
I found something interesting out. I'm realizing while you're saying this. A lot of people who are running agencies surprisingly don't care about your experience, even though you have a ton of it. Like, I noticed that a lot of times when someone's asking me about, like, I want to do XYZ, and I tell them you can do XYZ, but you can also do ZYX, right? Like, you do it differently. It gets the same thing in my experience. If you do it the way that I'm suggesting, you're going to have a better time. It's going to be easier. It's a better flow for your clients. And then the person will come back and say, no, I still want my clients to sign up manually and then go to the services page or like the order form. Like, brother, there's a better way to do things. Like, we've studied this. There's experience. It's backed by actual real world. Like, if you add more than 4 forms on your order form, it's harder for people to convert. Like, we have the numbers, you know? And then they're like, no, I'm going to put all of my intake form questions on the order form. And then I'm going to be upset because people are not converting.
Yeah, you're right. The flows are different as well. Like, when do people come into the Wayfront funnel is some people send cold traffic. So they do like an email newsletter and put a Wayfront link in there. Like, that's a bold move because it goes directly to the order form with like minimal explanation of what you're paying for. Some people have traffic to their website where they have like this nice sales page with the features and the benefits, and the order form is just for ordering. Like, once you've already decided to order, you go there, and maybe you have the option to like upgrade your package or add some add-ons or stuff like that. And then other people are like, oh, I've already like closed the deal over the phone, let me issue an invoice. You know, there are all kinds of different flows, and there's like the one that works best is, I think, using the order form flow for the people who are already warm, ready to buy, and then if they abandon it, we follow up. So there's like features to help with that particular workflow.
Yeah, they do all work though. Like, all of them will work. Some of them we are more well suited to handle, like the order form flow that you just explained. But they do all work, and because I've had to help people figure out their workflow over the years for every single one of the options that you just suggested. And like, everyone has different requirements, everyone does things a little bit differently, and there is a way to handle all of them within Wayfront. Some more ideal than others, but it is possible, which I think is very cool, because we have this like broad net that people are able to use Wayfront for whatever type of agency that they have, which I think is very cool. Except for physical products. I don't think that works.
Or if you're like doing anything shady.
Yeah, then you shouldn't use Wayfront, yes. But yeah, I find it also interesting because there are, again, some really interesting use cases. Like I have seen people sell physical products with Wayfront as well, successfully.
No, but like we can't. That's the thing with. I'm always saying, like, for agency owners, like have specialize in a thing so you become known for the thing. So if we, like, people are asking like, will you add like proposals? No, because like our bread and butter is productized agencies. You're not gonna, like, there are plenty better invoicing tools, proposal tools. If you're getting paid like net 90, like after delivering the service, this is not for you, and it's fine. Yeah, it can't be for everyone, because the moment we start making it for everyone, then it starts sucking for the core user group.
Exactly, because you're spreading your effort too thin, and then you have to maintain all of these different things. We still have to maintain features that have been deprecated forever, man. How long ago have we updated our order forms? We still have people on the old order forms. It's been like 2 years. And we have to maintain it because it can't break, because people are using this stuff to make money. So we have to make sure that all of it works.
And we're also very cool about it, because like we're not force upgrading yet. Maybe like it's been long enough, maybe. I saw Stefan built a really nice migration assistant now, so it's gonna like show you what is exactly changing, and I think it'll be a super easy upgrade flow. So now if we can do that for all our things, happy days.
Yeah, if we have a migration assistant, that's fantastic. That's the best that you can offer, because listen, we're trying to give you better features. You need to work with us so we can give you better features. If you're stuck in the old way, it's not gonna work. So here, use this assistant. It's gonna help you upgrade, and then that's perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. And we give them plenty of time.
Yeah, it is. I can like understand it. There's like risk in change, because you know, what am I exactly getting? Why should I get the new order forms? Because you can have all Stripe payment methods. That's why, you know, because you can have Klarna You could have people buying your backlinks on credit.
On loans, people taking loans to get backlinks.
Yeah. Let me just like Klarna these backlinks. These like off topic or on topic, I guess like these are the worst type of clients where like they're super desperate. They're like, I'm putting all my money into your service. It's gonna either work or I'm gonna go broke. This better
my
work.
house.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Listen, I never understood. All of these years, people have asked for Klarna multiple times and like Afterpay and stuff like that. I never understood this. This is not the type of client that you want to have. You don't want to have somebody who's taking debt to buy something from you. Like,
Isn't that?
but again, that's not my business. What payment methods you're accepting is not my business. My job is to make as many of them available to you as possible.
Well, if you're paying via credit card, you are sort of like taking on debt for a while.
People usually do that for points more than anything. It's very big in the US, this like point farming where they get like they pay for everything with credit cards because they want to get the points to then buy other stuff with the points.
Yeah, that's how everybody's flying to Bangkok and autumn
On first class?
first class.
All right.
Anyway, see you there.
Yeah. I think we can wrap up and hopefully see someone there, yeah.
All right, great. Thanks for listening.
Yes, it was fun. Again, very cool thing. Wayfront, try it. Link down below. Yeah. Have a good week.
Bye.